Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Celebrate TV Live. I'm your host, Peter Lee. With me today, as always, as I struggle to get this open, at the command center, it's the guy who makes it all happen. Wow. Well, maybe we're gonna have a cocktail. You know him, you love him, it's Phil Gordimer, my husband.
And good afternoon, good morning, good evening from cold New Jersey. We were 70 degrees yesterday. We're just barely making 30 today. Feel free to comment and chat, ask questions. Today is all about kitchen disasters, so if you've got one or tell us how you fixed it, put it in chat and we'll let everyone see it. Also, where are you watching from? Just say, hey, we're hello from your city and state, and we'll show a map of where everybody's from today.
Back to me, Bob.
Back to you.
All right, so we're having a classic Manhattan today, our probably most favorite drink ever. Here we go. Oh, dear, how old was that vermouth that you gave me? Yeah. It's not supposed to be like that. Hold, please. Do a dance. Something, dear. No, we're just kidding. We did this on purpose.
It's a kitchen disaster. It's a bar.
Kitchen disaster.
It's a bar disaster. While he gets the real drink.
Here's the real drink. Here's the real drink. Do not worry. We're little devils.
All right, we got
Richard.
Richard's in. And
All right. I'm sure Richard was clutching his pearls when he saw that.
R.A. from Calgary.
Rob. All right, here we go. That's more like it.
And Doug and Arnie are in.
Hi, guys.
And Wilma's in, of course.
Hey, Wilma. All right. Would you ready for your cocktail, dear?
Yeah, hold on one second. We got Wilma's watching from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And we got good old Janet in from Rhode Island. And Ben's in.
Hi, Ben.
More. And let's see. Oh, Hank's joining us from Phoenix.
Hello, Hank.
It's 70 in Phoenix.
Nice.
And we were 70 yesterday.
Yeah, or close to it anyway.
All right. Let's see. Got any others before I get up?
I can't wait too much longer.
You're going to have to. Hold on. All right. Guys, say hello to us.
Doug and Arnie.
And then Richard says, I don't believe in a sacrificial.
Well, it just goes to show you, we all have these little kitchen catastrophes.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, Dixie.
Dixie was clutching her pearls on that one.
Well, this will be better. This is one of our favorite ryes and fresh vermouth.
This is a bullet rye Manhattan.
Cheers.
It's been
Cheers
a tough weekend.
It has been tough all week.
We've been rebuilding the studio and the network background, so.
That's good stuff.
All you
Okay.
computer geeks, we had a ball.
Oof.
Or I had a ball.
So, do you have any PSAs or announcements to make?
I do not.
No?
It's
Okay.
all you today.
All right. So it's all about kitchen catastrophes, good food gone bad today. And let me share a story with you about why we're doing this. I had this memory come up in my Facebook feed a few weeks ago, and this is from 2019. And apparently I posted, another dinner party on the books. But this dinner party was the Murphy's Law dinner party. Everything that could go wrong did, or almost everything. First, I went to make my fruit tart only to screw up the crust. Now, I've never made my fruit tart for you. It's a little complicated. We have to figure out the logistics of filming it, but the crust is made from my shortbread recipe. Something I can make in my sleep, but in this case, I couldn't do it. So, off to my favorite bakery I went to get a dessert. Okay. Chicken in a purse was on the menu as the main course, but when I opened the phyllo dough, it was all crumbled. You know, chicken in the purse, we've done a couple episodes on it. It's one of my go-tos, but bad phyllo dough. I guess it was a bad box. So with just over an hour before our guests arrived, Phil Gordimer went to the store to get more phyllo, only to discover they were out. Of course. No matter, I improvised. I stuffed the chicken with the filling for the purses. But then I overcooked the chicken and burned the roast broccoli. Thankfully, I had some fresh snow peas on hand that I was able to saute, and I made a quick sauce for the chicken. Still, not one of my better nights. Fortunately, our friends have a great sense of humor, and I was able to recover without panicking. It just goes to prove if you remain calm in a crisis, you can come up with plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever you need to do. So that's what kicked off this topic for our live stream today. Now I'm going to start cooking since I've shared a story. I have some oil here.
Oh,
What?
hold on. Let's wait till it gets over here.
Okay, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Wilma. So we're going to make some chicken cutlets today, which I need to get out of the fridge because I knew I was forgetting to do something. Well, you could go get the chicken cutlets for me out of the fridge. Thank you.
Song and dance.
Yes, song and dance. So I'm going to make some chicken cutlets, just some breaded fried chicken cutlets. I was going to make a chicken piccata, which is an upcoming episode rather. But when it came down to it, I was kind of tired, and I went, I don't really want chicken piccata. I want comfort food, fried cutlets. And, you know, honestly, who doesn't like something breaded and fried? Thank you, dear.
All right, so your job today in chat is tell us either about a kitchen disaster that went wrong or a little trick you do in your kitchen to fix something like you oversalted it or you overcooked it or you had your mother-in-law over and she told you to do it wrong. Tell us about your kitchen stories and nightmares. And more importantly, how do you recover? Or how do you recover gracefully?
Or you didn't do it right. She told you right and you didn't listen. Which is what my mother-in-law would have said. You didn't listen. Sure, Fran. So we're just going to make some classic breaded and fried. I have some seasoned breadcrumbs here, so I don't need to season my chicken. I know some of you are going to go, you have to season everything. These are these lovely pre-cut chicken cutlets that they do on the machine at the store. You can always ask them to do it for you. And yeah, I'm just going to use my hands because it's just us. If I were cooking for you, I would use a fork or tongs, but it's just me and Phil. My hands are impeccably clean. So I like to do breadcrumbs, egg wash, and then breadcrumbs again. I know a lot of people will do flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs, but if you delete the flour and start with the breadcrumbs, it acts the same as the flour, and then you get a double layer of breadcrumbs, and I find it makes a crunchier coating. These are beautiful little cutlets. I may have to start buying these. They're not very expensive at all.
You usually like cutting down your own.
I don't. I've just never bought these. But I was feeling very lazy this week. It was a tough week. All right. I'll put that there. All right. So I have some of my own stories to share with you today. Normally, you know, I have this whole outline of history and topics and fun facts. All right, so someone wrote in, the first time I cooked for my in-laws, I was so nervous I dropped a tray of wine glasses and burnt the roast. Wow. Yeah. I could see that happening. I think the first time I cooked for my parents and my older siblings, the worst I did was I was making rice and I let it boil over. And then my mother came in and was like, calm down, Queen. You got this. Just turn down the flame. So anyway, one of my favorite kitchen catastrophes didn't really exactly happen to me, more as I witnessed it. When I was little, back in the 70s, one year my grandparents came down to our house for Thanksgiving. And my mother had this ancient kitchen table that was apparently some family heirloom that had been passed down and passed down. It was very old. I only vaguely remember it. But I remember sitting there, and we're just sitting down at dinner, and all of a sudden we heard groan, crack, splinter, and the table started to go. So fortunately, my dad and my grandpa and my 3 older brothers grabbed the table while my mom and sister and grandma cleared all the dishes off. Now, I was young enough, I think I might have still been in a high chair, but I was maybe, I don't even think I was in a high chair. I don't know, but I could have been more than 5, so I couldn't really help. But yeah, fortunately, my grandfather was a carpenter and was able to kind of jury rig it, fix it, so we could go on with our dinner. And the next day on Black Friday, they got in their car. We thought they were going home, but they went out shopping and bought my mom and dad a new kitchen dining set because they didn't want that crappy old table anymore. My mother saved it to have it fixed, and it sat rotting in our basement for years and years. And I think I was in high school by the time she finally got rid of it.
All right, let's see. We got some stories coming in.
Oh, good. Good.
Doug and Arnie have got a good one. It's a little bit long, but
That's okay. 22 minutes had this all day. Doug started grilling chicken on the Weber. He got distracted and the chicken caught on fire. Oh, we've been there.
yes.
We fixed it by running down to our milk store and grabbed more chicken. Dinner was served after everyone had a good laugh. And you know what, guys? That's the key. When these things happen, you have to just laugh it off. Can you stall them for a moment while I rinse off my bready chicky hands?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's talk about a few more. Here's one came in for email. It says, while carving the Turkey Day turkey one year, I carved myself
Ouch!
and had to go to the ER. And yes, I did bleed all over the turkey.
Ugh.
We happen to know who this person was, so their name is not up there.
Bled all over the turkey. My goodness. That would certainly be a catastrophe, but a story for the ages.
Wait, Ben's got one here too. Ben said he ruined a crock pot making a tried and true recipe. His lack of kitchen skills are legendary.
I don't know how you ruin a crock pot, but that's okay. Unless you're doing something with it that you shouldn't be. All right, let's see if my oil
So
is...
that's why Sherry, keeps you out
Sherry
of the
does the
kitchen.
cooking? Yeah. Let's see if my oil is up to temperature. I'm going to turn it up a bit. It's shimmering. Almost there.
Oh, this one's funny.
Okay. Janice says, my first time making turkey, I left the bag in. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The giblets.
All the giblets and stuff. And probably the neck, too, was in there. Yeah. All right, we're getting there. This will just take another minute or two.
All right, let me peruse back through, because there's quite a few more.
Okay. Very good. I love it. Very good. All right. In the meantime, I have another story, a catastrophe. So, about 15 years ago. What?
Damn!
My goodness.
Shade.
Wow. All right, then. We have to get Ben and Sherry in on one of our Zoom calls with Doug and Arnie, too.
Yeah.
The 6 of us have to... it's just silliness. Anyway, about 15 years ago... Oh, here's one. Pete and Phil can confirm it got fixed. Potato salad, secret family recipe for 300. Got the dressing proportion wrong, and the end result was a bit too much like soup. Rescue, yeah.
And the solution was...
Potato flakes. Yeah.
Potato flakes
are a
come to
great
the rescue.
secret weapon.
Should always have some,
Yep.
even if you don't like boxed mashed potatoes.
They are great for thickening sauces and things like that.
They make good breading on chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, if you season them properly. So anyway, about 15 years ago, before I was at my current job, the job I had been at for 20 years, the company was going under. They got bought out by a competitor, and of course they closed us down. it happens. So I was in the first wave of people to go. And Phil and I had planned for it, so we were fine. So it was my very first day of being unemployed, ever. And I hadn't gotten my severance package yet, my last paycheck, because it was all done by direct deposit. Hadn't gotten, we had whatever it was we had in the bank, which probably wasn't that much. But anyway, I thought, okay, we had planned I would take like a week or so off and then start looking for work. So I'm on vacation. I thought I'm going to make us a nice dinner. And I made this something in a little casserole. I don't remember what it was, but it was something involved. And I went to preheat the oven, and it was an electric oven, and I went boop, 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 push start. And there's a hum, crack, sparks, puff of flame, and then smoke. And I'm like, what just happened? Just that fast. Snap, crackle, pop. And I was like, saying some bad words. So I called him in a panic. I called him at work. Don't you remember that?
Oh, that was in Paulsboro.
Paulsboro, the old house.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, we'll figure it out. I'm coming home. And he came home, and the circuit board just decided to fry on it. But it was not worth getting repaired, and we didn't have enough cash to go out and buy a stove. So we're trying to figure out what do we do. And I think I was able to cook the dinner in our camper, but we couldn't have lived in the camper that whole time. And Phil goes, you know what? Go talk to your mom. You never ask your mom and dad for money. All your siblings do. They've helped everyone else. Just go down. So I went down, humble pie, and I was like, I'll pay my first check. I can pay you back. My mom was like, whatever. Go buy yourself a good stove. So I went and I bought myself a good stove, and I came back and I said, this is how much I owe you. She didn't bat an eye. Whatever, I don't care. And then when I got the money, she wouldn't let me pay her back. So she bought me a very, very good stove. Very, very lucky.
Grill master's in.
Here we go. Oh, good. So the probe light said the leg of lamb was done, pulled it from the grill and let it rest. Start to slice it. No, look, not cooked. Another beer and back to the grill. That's right. Sometimes that happens, and that's all you can do is put it back in the oven, put it back in the grill, pour another cocktail. All right, my stuff is ready here. Oops, not those. Get off these. Let's fry some chicken. Some chicken cutlets. These are pretty big.
Well, you can do two, it looks like.
No, they're really big. That's okay. It's fine. I don't want to crowd the pan.
This past Christmas, I went to cook for the Feast of Seven Fishes. I could only find 3 fish in my fridge. I left the rest of it in my car overnight. I live in Miami.
Wait, doesn't Janine live in Miami or somewhere? She's in Florida.
I think she's in St. Peter.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Ugh. I wonder how long their car smelled. These should cook pretty quickly because they're so thin. Now, what could you do with these?
You'd always put the oven on behind you to let them finish in there. Keep warm.
All right, I'll put this on keep warm. Since I'm being told what to do.
Because I never tell them what to do in the kitchen, like I'm allowed to. Just saying.
You know better.
Wow, that oil is hot.
Well, and they're very thin. So what could you do with these? Yeah, me too, Wilma. We don't eat them very often. We don't have too much fried food that's not good for us. But once in a while, it's comfort food. And besides the obvious chicken parm, you could make it into a version of chicken piccata or chicken française. You could make it into a version of cordon bleu. I had the heating element go out on our family stove Thanksgiving morning about 20 plus years ago. Fortunately, our neighbors let us use their oven to cook the turkey. Oh, that was nice. See, that's why you gotta love your neighbors. What?
I've done this.
Put eggs in a boil to have hard-boiled eggs. Went in my room just for a sec. I hear an odd noise. Yes, you have.
I have
Yes,
done
you
that.
have.
I did it on our stove, the new stove that you got in Paulsboro.
Yes.
And it was a glass top stove too.
The stove was fine, but the pot wasn't. Yeah. That was not a happy day. Not at all.
Ben says that reminds him of a good chicken parm.
Yeah. I don't have any mozzarella to make chicken parm. I have Parmesan Reggiano.
We would love to use an induction burner more for
It's
filming.
the first time I used an induction burner. I nearly set things on fire.
Yeah,
Really, Richard?
we want to use induction more. The problem is the fan in them are so loud.
Yeah.
It interferes with the microphones, makes it very difficult to
Yep.
get clean audio. Not so much in a live stream because we're using the shotgun mics, but in filming, it's kind of tough.
It's not well. I'm gonna let heat take this. Oh no, it's fine. Oh, still keeping up there. All right. Lovely. Now you notice I'm trying to be careful with this. When I lay them in there, go back to that, dear. Go back here. Here we go. Lay it down away from me so it doesn't splatter back up at me.
What's the temp? Because they're all getting lighter. So I
Well,
guess-
I was watching that one and pulled it out. It's actually darker than you think it is. Yeah. 315 climbing, dear. This oil is recovering very fast because it's shallow and the cutlets are very thin. Is there a way to fix something that's over salted? Yes, there is. Now, you always hear of if it's soup or something you put in potatoes. I have never found that to work. But what I do find is add a little hot sauce. Crystal hot sauce, Frank's hot sauce, something vinegary with that heat. It doesn't get rid of
just a little bit.
right. A few drops, a couple dashes. It's not gonna make it spicy and it doesn't get rid of the salt, but the heat and the acid from the vinegar trick your palate so that you don't taste the salt. And some people will say, no, once it's over salted, you're done, but no, that's
And
a good
Keith
way.
Sin from
Hi, Keith.
Pottstown, Pennsylvania.
Hey.
Wilma says she could just take a bite through this.
I know, Wilmer, right? Who doesn't like something crunchy and breaded and fried to golden deliciousness? All right. I'm having this here just in case. I need to cover it quickly. Okay, so someone asked, how do you fix something? And how do you recover from a kitchen disaster? Honestly, how do you do it? Well, the first thing is, don't panic, right? Keep calm. Keep calm. Don't panic. You know, stuff happens to all of us.
Keep calm. I wonder where you got that
I
from.
don't know.
Ready to spice up your style? Discover exclusive shirts, aprons, and accessories inspired by your favorite show. And every purchase supports the channel. Visit our store today at shop.letscelebrate.tv. And let's celebrate every meal in style.
Yes, it was a shameless plug.
Well, you don't ask, you don't get, dear. Lovely.
Though I do have to say that that apron that you're wearing is the most bought item in the store right now.
Oh, is it really?
T-shirts aren't going anywhere, but people
And
are buying the aprons. They
Oh.
like them.
Okay. Aren't these kind of expensive?
They're not cheap. They're $35
All right.
and $39 for some of the bright ones.
Okay. I like them. They're heavier than the other ones that we have with just our logo. And you know I love them.
Richard says, pick the roast off the floor and serve it. Because if no one saw it, it never happened.
Right?
It's
okay,
Julia Child.
Really? Now I am going to put these in the oven for a few minutes, just because I had them sitting on that rack raw, and now I'm putting the cooked ones back on. So just give it a couple minutes to kill any if there's any.
Speak of the devil. This is interesting.
My sister and her now ex-husband had a huge fight one holiday and ended up throwing food and dishes all around the kitchen. Nice. Nice.
All right, well, while you're
All right.
doing that, it's...
Oh, is it your time?
It's my
It is?
time.
Wow. All right.
Give me 1 second here to get my correct screens up.
Too many buttons to push.
Too many buttons to
many
push,
buttons.
especially now.
Yep.
So... And as most of you know, we're a big champion of small YouTube channels. So today, I'd like to introduce you to Maxine from Don't Miss My Plate. And she is a food blogger and home cook. And she just kind of got started. Matter of fact, in my chatting with her, she said that she completely underestimated how much commitment YouTube takes. So, and she does a really good job of, in her videos, let's see here, let me turn the
It's
sound
easier to
off.
remove anyway once you boil
So
them.
we don't get any sound mixing in. So her videos are not completely just over-the-top videos. She is a person. She talks about it. Let's see if I can... Oh, of course, I picked one.
Well, that's okay. They'll just have to go watch her videos.
Yeah. But they're really good. Good explanation. Good timing with them. Let's see. Here we go. And she'll do a lot of grocery questions and talking about it. And talking about cooking, plating, and life. She's been at this, let's see now. So she joined in 2017, but she has 82 videos and 282 subscribers. So let's see if we can help her along. Now she has a lot of other things that she does before she did YouTube. So she has her own place, her own website. She's got a Facebook page. She has Instagram with lots of really great looking food. She has Pinterest. Again, a lot of food. She's on TikTok, and she even has her own Amazon store. So, her channel is in the video description. I will put it in chat. Go out there, watch a video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but more importantly, leave a comment. The best thing you can do to help a channel grow is to leave them a comment, and small channels can take the time to answer every question.
We certainly do. Oh, back to me. Yay! All right, so chickie's done in the oven. We'll just leave it in there for a few minutes. Like I said, I had raw chicken. I cooked it. I put it back on, but I'm going to put it back there just in case there's a little bacteria hanging around or something. Trying to arrest a date once by making fried chicken, which led to a grease fire. P.S. We've been married for 5 years now, but I'm not allowed to cook. Yeah. And, you know, those grease fires, you got to be careful when you're doing stuff like this.
So let's talk about grease fires for a minute. Because look what's behind you.
I'm getting there, dear. You know,
Okay.
walk with me on this journey, sweetheart. So you have to be careful. That's why I mentioned earlier, I'm keeping this handy. I had it back on the oven because if that had popped and flared up, what could I have done right away? Covered it to smother it right away. Or, as Phil said, in the background is my little fire extinguisher, and this is a special one that is a dry fire extinguisher, so it's safe for grease fires and things. You always want to keep one of these in your kitchen and make sure that it is the dry kind that can be used for any type of fire. What you don't want to do, which I see chefs do it sometimes on Chopped, they get a little grease fire, they're walking this flaming pan over to the kitchen and they put it in the sink and put water on it, and then it goes whoosh and splatters, and like, don't do that. You just... asking for trouble. Or they just dump it in the sink and walk away, and there's this flaming pan that someone else has to go take care of.
And
So,
the reality
cover.
is if it's on fire, leave it on the stove. That's what the hood in the stove is for.
Well,
you're walking with fire. But again, why are you putting it in the sink? Because if you're going to put water on it.
That's not actually true. You don't want to put the hood on because the hood pulls the grease up. And there's a grease trap up there. So then you're going to pull the heat and the fire up and set the grease on fire. Remember that TGI Fridays in Washington Township that burned down? That's how that happened.
Oh, Annie's got a good one.
Oh, okay.
I gotta wait for it to come over. Here we go.
My husband, before we married, made me pasta dinner and made the mistake of grabbing dish soap instead of, oh, wow. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are going, even worse, why are you putting oil in the pasta water? Oh my goodness.
Okay, so that wins the award right now.
That's
for the
us.
funniest
You
one.
win, Annie. You absolutely do.
You absolutely got that one.
hysterical. That's great.
Oops, we just did that one. Here we
Okay.
go.
Trying to show off in front of my guests by flipping the food like the chefs on TV. It went everywhere. Dixie, was that Phil? I mean... And I forgot to ask, is Chunky Shots in? Because that first martini, that was for him.
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's talk about recoveries. So what do you do? You don't panic, right? You have to accept. Can I say a bad word? Mm-hmm. Can I say one little bad word? Okay, shit happens. That's all. It happens. Don't panic. Laugh it off. Oopsie, I burned the broccoli. You're cooking for your family, your friends, people who care about you, people that want to be with you, and that's what it should all be about. Yeah, you want the food to be good, but, if something gets messed up, don't panic, laugh it off, go to plan B, figure it out. So we talked about over-salted, use hot sauce, underdone, what my son said. Put it back in the oven or on the grill. Open another cocktail or another beer or pour another cocktail or a glass of wine for everyone. Just again, laugh it off. Well, the turkey doesn't want to cook today, so dinner's going to be a little late. Let's have another round of cocktails. And you laugh it off. You crank up the music and you go on with your life. If it's overdone, let's say you did. Your turkey's a little dry, your roast is a little burned, so that's why I keep plenty of stocks on hand, even the box stock. Something's dried out, you can dip it in whatever chicken stock or beef stock, help moisten it back up, and of course, make a sauce or a gravy. That will hide a multitude of sins. I wanted to make some peanut butter cookies, a recipe I've made hundreds of times. I kept burning them. 3 batches went right in the trash. Oh, that's too bad. But that happens, and sometimes you just got to roll with it, and yeah.
Well, it's sort of like cooking pancakes. The first one is sacrificial.
Right.
So I think when you're baking cookies, the first few are sacrificial.
Yeah. Or crepes, right? So I have another story. I told this story a few years ago, but some of you may have heard it. Some of you out there may have been here when it happened. But this happened on New Year's Eve, 2021. Oh, awesome. Wilma, yes, you should always have one. And they're not expensive, and everyone should have one in their kitchen at the very least. We have one here. We have one upstairs in the real kitchen. So in 2021 for New Year's Eve, friends were down visiting, and we were going to have a nice dinner and then go into Philly and see the fireworks because that's what Phil likes to do. And we all like lamb, so I had bought the day before beautiful, expensive leg of lamb. And I was getting ready. I opened it, and it was a little gamey smelling, a little strong, but I thought, well, lamb can sometimes. I seasoned it. I put it in the oven. It smelled great while it was cooking. We're all going, oh, we're all excited. It gets done. I take it out to rest. But I started getting this feeling like, something's not right here. I got the rest of dinner going while it was ready. Phil and our friends, they're all in the dining room. I start to carve the lamb to bring it out. And I cut into it, and I thought, oh, this is not good. So I'm like, honey, sweetheart, could you come help me? And he came stomping out like, what's the matter? And I was like, just taste this. Shh, taste this. And here it had spoiled, and we didn't know it. It wasn't so bad that it punched me in the gut when I opened the package, but when we tasted it, ooh, yeah. So here we are. It's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever time it was, dear. On New Year's Eve, the store's closed, and what do we do? So fortunately, I had a couple bags of frozen shrimp in my freezer that I was able to quick thaw.
Yeah. Our software didn't quite do the thing, but
Is that the vomiting emoji?
It's a green face, yes.
Yeah. It was horrible. I was mortified, but fortunately they were our very dear friends, and we all just laughed it off. And I don't think we made it to the fireworks because I think we
might have been a little toasted.
Yeah, because you were like, hold on, I'm opening more wine. Is there any kitchen disaster you can't recover from? Yes and no. Truly, I would have to say no. There's nothing that you can't recover from. Short of burning your house down, you really can't. You know, if you screw it all up and everything's ruined, order Chinese takeaway. Laugh it up with your friends. You know, if there's a budget problem, you laugh it up and say, hey, guys, I'm sorry. Can we all just chip in $5 and order a pizza? You know, something. They're going to laugh with you. They're going to support you, hopefully, if they're your real friends. So no, if you burn something, if you overcook something, make a sauce for it. Quickly cook something else. If something's underdone, put it back in the oven or put it back on the stove and let it finish cooking. You just have to not panic and roll with it. And I always like to find the humor when things like that go wrong.
All right.
What?
And just like we like to find new channels, we like to help our friends. So tomorrow, March 3rd, 2025, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Pepper Tree Villa is doing Jell-O Upside Down Cake. This is all part of a series they're doing of all sorts of things that you can do with Jell-O. So check out their live streams. They're usually very, very interactive. Matter of fact, we have Ben and Doug and Arnie all here in chat. We'll get Sherry in one day too. So go check them out.
Yeah, they're very much fun, their live streams. They review Hallmark movies. They make cocktails too. They do crafts. They do Jell-O tastings. And at Christmas time, it's all about Christmas, and it's amazing what they do. Yeah, so they're fun.
51?
51 or 52. Guys, how many was it this year?
I was at 55 trees. Oh, this one so hits home.
Excuse me. My kitchen disasters are mothers-in-law looking over my shoulder in the kitchen. Yeah. I had that for a little while when all of our parents were still alive. We'd have them over. I would be going into the kitchen to cook something. And Phil's mom was not a cook at all. She could burn water. But if my mother got up to go into the kitchen to see what I was doing or to help, Fran had to come with her. And so then I had one over each shoulder. What are you doing? How can I help? Here, let me stir that for you. No, do it this way.
My mother was not a cook. At 12 years old, I decided I was either going to have to learn how to cook and cook for the family or starve. And I tell that story and people think, no, that's not how it happened.
So it's...
And she says, oh yeah, it really did. I was the cook in our house because my mother...
It's true.
She could not cook chicken to save her life.
She tried. God bless her.
It was a lot.
Bless her heart. What does they say in the South? Bless her heart. Yeah.
Ate a lot of hamburger helper. And it's like, if I have hamburger helper one more time, I'm going to vomit.
She was great. And talking about kitchen catastrophes.
Oh.
You know where I'm going to go.
Yeah, I do know where you're going to go.
Phil's mom was 50 trees in the forest this year. All right. Yes, gang. They had 50 trees in their house.
And we sponsored one of them.
We did sponsor one of them. So anyway, Phil's mom was what is known as a brittle diabetic. She was a type 1. So she was insulin dependent. But the problem was with her, if you go, she would go into insulin shock.
And she liked her vodka.
And she did like her vodka. So she invited us over for dinner one night, and we were prepared for undercooked Cornish game hens, because that's what she would usually cook. When I'm in the kitchen cooking, don't mess with my pots. Enjoy your cocktails. Yes, Wilma, I am the same way, and Phil knows, like, no one is allowed. Just get out of my kitchen. I got this. Go. I'll tell you if I need you, and I will tell you what to do. But otherwise, this is the line. Anyway, so she invited us over, and we were prepared for a night of undercooked Cornish game hens and overcooked vegetables, etc. But it was about spending time with Mom. So we go there, and she was in a second floor apartment, and we open the door, and smoke comes billowing out. So we're panicked. We go running up the stairs into her kitchen, and she's sitting there at her little dining room table, kind of slumped over like this. The front of her stove is all blackened. And so we're like, what the hell happened here? So we brought her around, you did the whole icing sugar trick. We got her back. And she's from England. She's like, these bloody American stoves. I put some rolls in a basket and I put them in the warming drawer underneath to warm. And all of a sudden my kitchen was on fire. She had a gas stove and the broiler was underneath. And what a lot of stoves is a warming drawer. And so she had a wicker basket with a paper napkin and she put rolls in it and put it under the broiler, essentially. And was surprised and already loopy when flames and smoke were coming out. Now she collected herself
some sugar and she woke up.
Right, but she was able to put the fire out and take care of it. But once we, gave her some sugar, and because what happened was her sugar dropped, so she had passed out, and we brought her back up. And I'm not a sports kind of guy. Thanksgiving dinner for 20 with a family, peace in my kitchen cooking. Yeah, me too. This Thanksgiving, I sent everyone down here to watch the sports ball games while me and Kevin cooked. But yeah, that was a kitchen catastrophe for sure. Save my bad kitchen accidents for the grill. Let's see now. Are we overdone or underdone today? Kevin, did you send that in? So I have another story. I have a lot of stories. If you get to know me, I have a lot of stories. But before I get there, let's check how this chickie's doing.
I was just about to say, they're smelling good.
They are.
I'm done with my Manhattan. I'm almost done with my seltzer water. We know it's going to be dinner
we had a late
later.
lunch today too. We had an early light breakfast. We're running around all day, and we realized, oh, it's almost 2:00, and we haven't had lunch. So I ordered cheesesteaks at his request. So we just ate like these giant cheesesteaks. We shouldn't be hungry. We shouldn't be eating any of this, but we will. All right, dear. Chicky cutlets. Let's do it this way. One for you. Shall I deliver?
Well, why don't you cut it up so they can see what it looks like, and then you can deliver.
Ermagerd.
Ermagerd.
Yeah, well, at least that way I know.
The chat's a little light today. It's been between...
I didn't think so.
It's been going back and forth between about 15 and 18 people, but...
All right, here we go. Perfectly done because they are so thin. And they seem pretty juicy.
But since we've switched to every week now we're getting more and more in, so... Now, while you're doing that... No, actually...
No, don't... What?
Yeah, no, sorry.
What are you doing? What's happening? What's going on?
No.
My bear. Here you go, dear. Nappy and everything. Keep that up. I have to open wine earlier. Mix another cocktail. All right, I'll try one too. I know Wilma wants to be trying one right now.
Speak of it.
Thank you, Wilma. Other than burning them or overcooking them if you finish them in the oven, you really can't go wrong. Are they okay? Mm-hmm. Do they need a sauce or a squeeze of lemon? That might have been nice. Squeeze of lemon.
No, actually, there's a lot of flavoring from the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I like this particular brand of seasoned breadcrumbs.
And Janet wants one.
Listen to that crunch. Yeah. Well.
I would definitely turn that oven off so they don't get cooked anymore.
It's like the heat of a Bic lighter.
Oh, you got it in warm?
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not going to eat any more of this because tomorrow my numbers will be through the roof. My doctor will yell at me. All right. I'll just turn it off and they can sit in there.
Did you get strips while you were out today?
I didn't go to that store to get strips. I went in the opposite direction. This way or something. Mm-hmm. I did not go to the W. I went to Botino's.
So here's where everyone's from today. We've got a pretty good smattering here between San Francisco and Phoenix and Oklahoma and a big cluster up in the Northeast here. So yay for us.
So I have a story. Another story.
Wilma says she can fix the problem.
I'm sure.
Send them to her.
So, one of my favorite go-to recipes, and I really only make it, I can't say go-to because I make it once or twice a year because Phil's not a big fan. And that is my French chocolate mousse. And I learned to make it in cooking school. I still am trying to figure out how to condense it down to do an episode on it. It's a process. It's easy, but there are a lot of steps. Anyway, I remember right after I learned to make it, I wanted to make it for my mom and dad, and we had them over to dinner, and I went out, and I got the stuff to make it, and I bought the wrong kind of chocolate. I bought unsweetened chocolate by mistake, and I didn't realize it. And I melted it, I did the whole bit, and we're sitting down for dessert, and my mom took the first bite, and she's like, ugh, what's the matter? What's wrong? And then I took a bite, and I realized my mistake. So Phil was like, nope, not eating it. I don't like chocolate anyway, but there was no sugar in it. So it was bitter, unpalatable because I grabbed unsweetened chocolate. So it was just...
Yeah, I'm a bad gay. What can I say? Not only can I not decorate, I don't like chocolate.
My dad, I love my dad. He was trying to be the supportive dad, and he's like, no, it's not so bad. And he's just sitting there shoveling it down. And my mom was like, don't do that. Stop eating it. It's terrible. We all know it. You don't have to eat it. But again, it was my parents. We all laughed it off. We happened to have some ice cream in the freezer, so that's what we ended up having. I had my little moment of being mortified, but I've never made that mistake again since. It's about time for that, though, because, Pete Fest is coming up.
All right.
Diabetic or not, but still.
You need to explain what Pete Fest is.
So
That was a reach. Just saying.
It's the 2nd of March. There are only 17 shopping days left. Maybe 18 if you go out the day of. So my birthday is coming up this month, and I was born on the first day of spring. So I always tell people, if I don't get good Christmas or birthday presents, or you're going to have a snowstorm. Because the year I was born, apparently it was a beautiful spring day, and then the very next day, bam, the East Coast got hit with a blizzard, which does happen in March. So Pete Fest is the week-long celebration. I'm not greedy. I just, a week. Some people we know do a whole month. So we always say Pete Fest. And it starts from the Sunday before to the Sunday after, no matter where my birthday falls in the week. And I think 21. So yeah, we have a live stream the Sunday before my birthday.
So Maxine is in. There we go.
Oh, great. Welcome. You are welcome. One of my biggest kitchen disasters and a common one was overmixing a birthday cake batter. It sank horribly, and I was on dessert duty. Oh, yeah. And I'm not a baker in any sense of the word, but I know how that can be. I do. Yeah, you can easily overmix batters.
All right.
And
the
doughs.
boys love you.
Oh, yay!
Well, and the other side of that is we're big campers.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our seasonal site in the mountains. But before that, we would go all over the country with our travel trailer and pop-up camper. And we would camp with our friends, Canvas Campers.
So Joe and Peggy, if you're in, shout out.
Spring opener. And the spring opener was always on the weekend
of my birthday.
Of his birthday.
And how many years did it snow?
And
whether it was
snowed.
a dusting or it was a major. One year, we were going up. I don't even remember the campground, but it was the first year with the big pop-up.
That was at French Creek.
That was at French Creek
Yeah.
too. And then we were in a different loop because we were never had been in that slot before. But anyway, we're going, and there's a little, what do you call them? Drawing a blank. Flurries. Old timers. So starts flurry. We're going, okay, now French, we're going north. We're going up a little bit. And by the time we got to the campground, it was already laying pretty thick. And we were like, crap, this was supposed to be just a flurry. So we quick get the camper parked and we're setting it up and we're like speed getting it done. We never set that camper up so fast. And by the time we got done and got into the camper, got the heater on, there was already 2 inches of snow on the ground. And it was a bad storm.
It was like 10 inches by the time it stopped.
Yes, yeah. People were still, I'll give the campground kudos. They cleared the spots. They had their little plows out. And
Pennsylvania State Parks and the rangers are amazing.
And these idiots that we camp with, we love them to death, but they were all travel trailers, pop-ups, whatever. Didn't stop anyone. Everyone showed up. We had a great time.
A cord of wood and cocktails can do with things. Oh, and you're not supposed to have alcohol in a state park? Well, you just keep it quiet, but big fire.
Yeah, it's just lemonade in my red Solo cup. Ossifer, really. Yeah.
Well, and we knew the rangers pretty well, and they would, usually if they saw us coming as a group, they would just say, oh, and just remember, if you see them, don't leave your lemonade out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. What time is it? 4:26.
Yeah, let's talk about what's coming up next.
What is coming up next on LCTV? Our next live stream next week is Meatball Mania, from sliders to sandwiches and everything in between. So I got to practice the meatballs this week, don't I? And not just my bone crunching meatballs, maybe my chicken and mushroom meatballs or the shrimp balls, or I don't know.
We just did a chicken meatball.
Like last year or the year before.
Okay.
And it did very well. It did so well
We did
that...
lamb meatballs also that did well.
Uh-huh. The chicken mushroom meatballs did so well that all summer up at camp, people were requesting them for happy hour, if you recall. What else is coming up? Our next episode, and this was thank you to In the Kitchen with Karen, our friend Karen Cruz, another small channel.
We just filmed it yesterday.
Yes. We are making, and now I'm not a baker, as I said earlier. However, this recipe is so easy, even I can do it, which means you can do it. Lime mousse mini bundt cakes. I would prefer to say mini lime mousse bundt cakes, but then it sounds like you're using mini limes. But anyway, little bundt cakes. It's a lime mousse cake. She made a lemon version on her show, and we gave her credit on her channel, but we saw like, we always have a lot of limes, and we love lime. Let's make a lime version. So we did, and she made cupcakes, I made little mini bundt cakes, and it's like blow your mind, and they're so easy. Also, coming up, we're going to go visit the old school a little bit. We just did a live stream about diner breakfasts and diners. Oh, is that tonight? Well, clearly not me. I'm not watching. We're going to go old school diner food, and we're going to be doing stuffed flounder, old-fashioned crab stuffed flounder. I've been playing around with a few recipes, so probably this week we'll film it. Another one is I've been promising you that salted caramel martini that we did last week, so we'll be filming that this week too. So that's what's coming up next. Do you have anything else, dear?
No, I'm just looking. I got one here from Ben, and I'm not quite sure what it's referencing.
Are you sure about that, Pete? Am I sure? What am I sure about? I'm sure I'm probably not watching the...
We do a lot.
Yeah, we do a lot. I am sure that I'm not watching the Oscars.
Yeah, and the running joke is our friend Karen Cruz, In the Kitchen with Karen. She does lots of baking. We're not great bakers.
No.
Or Peter and being diabetic both, we don't eat a lot of bakery. But every time she does something with lemon, we, with permission, take her same recipe and redo it with lime.
Her recipes are so easy.
Yeah,
that's
really
why I
are.
feel comfortable trying them and doing them. In this particular cake, Yeah, it's like dump, 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 stir, and then not dumpster, dump, whisk, dump, whisk. It just all goes, and you bake it for like 15 minutes, and you're done.
And that's one of the nice parts of having this small channel community that we have.
Uh-huh.
We have over 200 that we've featured or we talk with regularly, and we all are real good about, hey, here's the one I just did, see what you can do with it. And we all give each other credit for it.
Yep.
So, you know, if you've got something that someone made on another channel, let us look. We'll take a stab at it.
Or if it's something you've made and you want us to try it. You too. Enjoy your week too, Wilma. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's fun doing these live. I mean, this is only our second week in a row doing them every week. But yeah, this is turning out to be fun and challenging. It is a big commitment, right?
All right, so
Okay.
let's start to wind this down, and let's give credit to everyone who's given us help, and our supporters, Hank and AJ, Brad and Brian, Carol, Valentine, Joe and Peggy Brennan, Robin, Megan Miller, Gary Stokes, Kevin, Hal B, Gene Jr., Wilma's RJ Spicy Kitchen, ARH Associates, Road, B&H Photo, and everyone's picture who was in chat today.
Yes.
And we will see you in a week.
Thank you.